Yo, Wagwan, it's that guy. Not Locs. Not Nation. What's going on? Just want to let you guys know, first thing off the bat, visit the Big Cartel store. Link in the description for all your dreadlock merch needs. We got Tams, swim caps. Swim caps are pretty fire right now to protect your hair from water in the shower or the pool. Without further ado, today's video we are looking at Jimmy Rockets. He's been requested a bunch here on the channel recently, and I think it's about time that we get this underway. Mr. Jimmy Rocket, born 1998, age 23. He's an Atlanta-based hip-hop recording artist who is recognized for his singles 31 Shots, Rollin', Alone. He used the music platform SoundCloud to develop a fan base. So Jimmy Rocket apparently has got some real fire freeform locks, and this is my first time reacting to the dude. So let's see where he kind of stands with his locks. Looking like, oh geez, looking like he's got a plica, but not so much. I gotta analyze the situation here and see what's really going on. Looking like Jimmy's got quite the freeforms on the high top side that have just grown out into one big lock on top of his head. I'm loving the fact that people embrace the full freeform like this and let them just grow how they're gonna grow. Like, honestly, this is like trend setting. This kind of style has never happened in society before. Like, as long as I can remember, like, people that grew dreadlocks like this were always shunned down upon in life, and they would always tell you that you can't get a job looking like this, or you can't find a wife looking like this. And there's so much stereotypes that come across when you decide to grow your hair in such a way. But let me tell you, it seems like Jimmy Rocket here is doing pretty good considering his hair is so wild. I mean, he's closing in on 100K followers. He's got a bright future in hip hop ahead of him. And this is what it comes down to. When you want to grow your hair freeform, I always encourage people to start their own business when they're doing it. Be your own boss. Be an entrepreneur. And in this day and age, even before today's day and age, Rasta always been self-motivated, always been self-financed. You know, you gotta hustle. So you can definitely respect the hustle that he's coming up with here. You can see his locks growing.
Let it bust it like a Trojan. Never check now, nigga flex how Hogan. Shooting niggas by having jumping like a party man.
Alright, Jimmy. I've actually never heard his music or anything before, but this is my first glimpse of what he's got to offer. Seems like he's asking short or freeform. Choose and I'ma cut it, no cap. Definitely freeform. And this is where he started off with this like tapered fro. And check out the perfect lines on this taper. Like, it looks pretty crisp. And then he started freeforming from here on out. And you can see how they've just grown into one big dread. Here again on the taper, he still got the chalk line on his forehead here. Is that a thing? Do people keep the chalk line on purpose? But you can see the freeform plica going on, and it's just like smooth dreadlock, no sailing there. And honestly, it seems like his hair will never drop. Like, he must be at least 3 years in at this point, maybe 4 years, and it seems like they won't drop unless he decides to split them. Unless he decides to go and cut them and make them fall down. Freeform Prophet has done something very similar on his channel with his plica dread that was growing straight up, just like this. And then the only way for it to fall down was for him to cut it and separate them, which they still looked fire after the fact. Looking at some photos here of Jimmy the Rocket before the freeform. Type 4C hair, perfect hairstyle for the locks to grow in. You can see the dread fro here already starting to develop, and then over the years he's basically kept the side taper going on, allows them to Congo up. They're actually very unique. He kind of reminds me of Lil Durk for some reason, but his dreadlocks are super unique, and it's cool to see people rocking hair like this and getting somewhere in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder why he came up with the name Jimmy Rocket. So I guess the only thing we can really do is see where he goes with this hair journey. I'm definitely interested to see if they drop down in years to come. This is a video from 5 years ago. 5 years ago! And his hair was like this. So Dude, I was wrong. His locks aren't 3 years old. They're 5 years in at this point. This is a 5-year plica. Seems like it's slow hair growth considering how long he's been growing it. But I mean, type 4C hair does typically grow a lot slower than a type 3. For whatever reason that may be. Genetics, not sure. Here we can see one of the most recent shots of his locks. It looks like it was like held up with a rubber band or a hair tie at some point to get into this position. It looks like he's got some locks on the side and the back of his head that are kind of strayed away from the main plica at the top. Definitely insane looking though. 5 years in the dread game, and this is where he's at. And you can see the shape. Even the shape of his locks in the back of his head, you can tell where he's been sleeping. His locks go up. You know, honestly, the shape of it reminds me of the Coneheads movie from back in the day. All his music videos are actually pretty dated, so we'll see if we can actually find some interesting looks. What is sick? I feel like if he didn't taper this, it would look a lot more rugged, a lot more natty. You can see his bridge in here has the same sort of taper that goes way back on the front of his head. You know, tapers and freeform locks, like, wow, look at that. I was gonna say tapers and freeform locks generally make the feel of the freeform locks much more manageable. Kind of boosts the self-acceptance a little bit because you have this false sense of maintenance, or I guess you have this false sense of just looking neater because you have a lineup. But I feel like growing it out truly freeform without the taper is actually the bigger confidence booster. And looking at his locks from the back, once again, we can see where he's been sleeping on the back of his head. But he does have like a dread tail growing that's pretty short, and he's avoiding snipping this when he gets the taper lined up. Crazy. Yo, his locks definitely one of the most unique that I've seen out of Atlanta, I gotta say. Definitely very unique dreadlocks. So big ups, huge big ups to Jimmy the Rocket, Jimmy Rocket, for creating the hairstyle that he's done. And I'm sure he's inspired so many more people to grow hair just like him, simply by just being confident in his own skin. So that's essentially the moral of today's story. Be confident with your decision to grow the dreadlocks. And if you take anything from this video, that's a valuable bit right there. I'm going to end this video here. I appreciate you guys stopping by every single day to watch the channel. I'm working on some big things for this year. I got a new website that I'm going to be launching in some time. Just give me a little while to do some work on it. But it's going to be a pretty good website to help build another community. Still doing the grow tent, still doing the videos every single day, and just trying to beat this stupid pandemic that's happening, right? We gotta stay on top and stay thriving. Hopefully everyone is doing well and aren't in too much of a difficult financial situation in these times. But I am going to be making some content to help with the mentality and the mindset of kind of getting ahead in life. So lots of good news to come forward in the days to come. But as I was saying, this video is over. Links in the description for anybody that wants to see some merch. I got swim caps, I got dreadlock tams, and I got crochet hooks on the way as well. But until next time, peace out, one love, stay happy and nasty. I'll see you guys in the next dreadlock update. I'm gone. Adios.
The nation. Dreadlock.